Where can you find more money? How can you find more money? How can you save more? These are examples of those types of questions that people's brains go blank on. When I ask them, I'm met with answers like, I don't know, putting money aside in a savings account, cutting expenses, living within your means. All generic fluff that are fundamentally true, but they're so overconsumed and repetitive sayings that don't resonate personally. Am I right? Well, that's actually where the answer lies. What's personal to you? What you can make use of for yourself and apply that while you're finding more money to speed up your time frame to your financial freedom. So as we go along, I want you to stay focused. If one of these methods excites you, then pause or rewind, make notes. Schedule them as tasks to explore in your calendar. This is literally the practical use of time in your life right now. Make sense? Let's go. It all starts with your personal financial statement and your cash flow, always. You are always looking to enhance your financial position by controlling your cash flow in 4 ways. By limiting cash flowing out, widely traditional. By increasing cash flowing in, making more money. By optimizing your assets cash flow, we'll expand on this in a bit. And by taking back your cash flow from liabilities. Or by doing all 4. First one is pay your debts off fast. The first way to find more money is actually to pay off your liabilities, your debts, faster. Every debt that you're in costs money. Credit cards, loans, etc. have a minimum repayment, right? When I used to run my graduate program, most graduates entered the working world with a fat student loan repayment of 8,000 Rand a month, which was a huge chunk of their paycheck. And I coach them to focus hard on allocating every piece of extra money using the calculator and techniques you've learned in this masterclass to create their own emotions and attach it to an actual date that they would be debt-free in. And even though this may have seemed counterintuitive at the time for them because their colleagues would only talk about the exciting investment world, the ones that stuck to it were debt-free within 2 years. And were rewarded by not only the relief of the burden of debt, but the fact that they already created a habit of paying more than 8,000 Rand, or let's put it this way, more than 30% of their paycheck somewhere. Where do you think that habit was channeled to next? And I'll tell you that 100% of the time that they ended up investing more than their peers who just dabble with investments and had no emotional attachment to their goals. Let's move on and revisit your security needs. There's an opportunity to save in your security. You already know your numbers for security needs from your budget, and you know the time frame you have to reach your security from your calculator. You can find money to save and contribute it to your debts or investments in each one of your cash flow items. Save 60% on your home. Now, I'm not going to tell you to sell your home or rather rent than buy. These are points to consider if you're really in need, but only you can decide that. I'm going to tell you that there is a way to save 60% or more of your interest on your home loan without needing to find more money. This is called optimizing your asset. Let's look at an example. If you have a R1 million bond over 20 years, you'll pay close to 1.1 million Rand in interest over the 20 years. Now, if you don't have extra money today and can still save half of that total bill, which is 1 million Rand, that's R1 million you don't have to pay in your journey to freedom. How much closer are you now to financial security? At least a couple of years, right? Do you find that exciting? Are you willing to put in nothing more than effort to achieve this? Cool. Schedule a task in your calendar to register for the property course in the Free Money School. It's there already. Save on your transportation. Cars are wonderful things. Everything about a beautiful performance vehicle is mesmerizing, and it makes sense for many people who appreciate cars to cough out a similar price for a car that it would cost to put a roof over their heads. But is it worth it to you at the cost of the extra years it will take for you to become financially secure? Answer these questions. Do you only travel to work and back with a vehicle parked in the basement of your building for the most part of the day? Do you even go to work as often anymore? Let's look at our 23-year-old entrepreneur as an example. He was paying 3,500 Rand a month on his car, and since he started his business, he found himself traveling less and busy on calls for most of the day. So he decided to sell his car and Uber wherever he needs to go, and works out that he'll spend 2,000 Rand per month on Uber, and as a result will save 1,500 Rand per month by selling the car. 800 Rand a month on vehicle insurance and 4,000 Rand in the year on maintenance of that vehicle. If we open up the calculator and increase his contributions by a saving of 2,300 Rand and add that 4,000 Rand extra as an additional ad hoc contribution to his investment goals, his goal will be achieved by the time he's 36 years old. That's 6 years earlier. How nuts is that? Let's look at another example to save. Food. Let's be serious. Don't starve. There are easier ways to save money. Eat and be happy. Let's look at another one, saving on insurance. This is something a lot of people waste money on because they have no clue about it. Now, you can definitely save on your insurance, and we'll cover this in detail in Module 5. But just know that's an option to save money. And so if you consider those, that's the ways you can save on your security needs. So where else can you find more money? Well, you can save by spending. Yes, you heard me right. Life should be epic, not boring, and you should live on your own terms every single day. So how do you save by spending? Come on, you know the answer. What makes you feel alive? What energizes you? What do you spend money on that gets you excited? Spend on that. You see, every person has something, a hobby, a convenience, an activity, a thing that fills their life with joy. For some, that may be cars or fine food. Almost every millionaire I know has something that they spend lavishly on, but at the same time makes them wealthier. The trick is, though, they spend little to nothing on things that bring them no joy. And that's the point. Most people that are broke just spend on everything. Now, if you're in the beginning of your financial journey, the road ahead will need your attention to the details. So if this excites you, here's an exercise you can do by yourself or with your spouse. Step 1. From your budget, make a list of all your recurring expenses as items: car, golf, smoking, takeout, insurance, everything. Step 2. Next to each item, note down the cost of the event or thing. Step 3. Note down the frequency of each spend. For example, you could be ordering in every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There are 4 weeks in the month. Now, if you're spending 200 Rand each time you order, that's 3 times a week and 4 weeks in a month. Your total spend is 2,400 Rand a month just on takeouts. Step 4. Once you've done this exercise, I want you to rate your level of enjoyment of each of those things out of 10. Now let's be serious here for a second. If you are spending on something that's less than a 5 out of 10 and it doesn't serve your vision, create a task in your calendar to get rid of those things, and while you're at it, reinforce your emotions by adding the total saving per month towards your financial freedom fund on your calculator to see how much quicker you can get to your financial freedom. Let's move on. Finding magic money. When was your last salary increase? What was your last bonus? Now, if you can't answer those 2 questions, then you are used to money disappearing, magic money. You see, every year your income increases. In fact, in the first 10 years of your career, your salary will jump 7 to 11 times. It's part of life stage 1. Remember, to anticipate is to equip yourself with the skills to win the game. You know what you're working towards. You know what it costs. Now, if you make yourself aware of when your increases are and what they're going to be, you can allocate a percentage of those increases towards your goal number. Just like that, no more magic money disappearing. Here's another one, saving on fees. Look, if you implemented any one of the strategies we've discussed, I guarantee that you found a lot more money you thought you didn't have, and at the very least your investment allocation has increased, and you projected to shave off a decade in time to reach your financial freedom. But investing is not always going to play according to your calculator. The financial industry is full of traps. But if you know how it works and what those traps are, saving on fees can literally cut your time to financial freedom by more than half. And we'll go into proper detail on that in the coming lessons. Another one is saving on taxes. If you know how to play the tax game, you're just going to keep a lot more of the money that flows into your life in. Did you know that by investing in tax-deferred investment vehicles, you can get a guaranteed return of up to half of your investment contributions? There is free money if you know how to navigate tax allowances, and this principle applies worldwide, whether it's a retirement annuity in South Africa or a Roth IRA in the States or Pillar 1, 2 or 3 in Switzerland. If you take advantage of this, you can literally create an additional bonus of cash flow every tax season. I covered this topic in detail in the Free Money School, from the investment tax terms you need to know, how to avoid tax legally, how to get a free holiday from the tax man, and loads more. So if this excites you, hit pause and... I'm joking. Go and schedule it as a task to register and complete with your friends and family. Let's move on. There's more. Saving by traveling. I want you to take a look at your dreams list. Is there anything about living on the beach, living in the mountains, moving to a city and immersing yourself in a new culture? What if you could do that today, and by doing so, reach your freedom target faster? Have you ever done financial research on the place you dream of finding yourself in? What's the cost of living there? What are the market-related salaries for the same role you play in society here? Could they have a lower rate of tax than where you are currently? What happens if you just go for a year or two and earn in a tax-free country with a stronger currency? How much could you save in a short space of time? So over the years, I've worked with doctors who traveled and worked on cruise ships, paid no tax, earned in dollars, saw the world and came back with no debts, paid off properties and a beautiful nest egg. I want you to think about it, consider it, and quantify it. Now, the final strategy to find more money is to earn more money. Whether you're entrepreneurial or not, the world today has unlimited opportunity, and I think that the average person entering the workforce will have at least 2 streams of income. So start thinking about jumping on the bandwagon. Now, when you're thinking about this, you don't always have to start a business. You can work 2 jobs virtually these days. You can negotiate a raise. And now this is a topic for a completely different masterclass. But as we conclude this chapter on the 10 ways of how you can find money in your life, I want to leave you with this reminder. Remember wall flip theory, guys. Always go back to it. Accept that you can do anything you want to do. Get excited about it. Be present in every moment. Believe in yourself. Commit to your goals and have faith living your life forward. Because there's always a strategy. I'll see you in the next lesson.